Alright, let's start here. I'll never forget the first time I saw Olivia Kane walk into Fort Worth training camp. Not that anyone else noticed, because nobody ever looked twice at a girl that small with a canvas backpack hanging off one shoulder, her boots worn down to the threads, and her uniform faded from too many washes. You know what I mean? People just see what they want to see and move right along, especially in a place like that. A drill instructor with a voice like a busted chainsaw scoffed, muttered under his breath about weak freshmen who should have stayed at the library, and you could practically taste the contempt in the air. By the time Olivia stepped into the combat ring, a literal pit, dust swirling, the Texas sun frying everyone's brains, nobody expected her to last even a second against 5 Marines. But I'm telling you, in less than 40 seconds, they were all flat on the dirt, and she was standing there, breathing like she'd just gone for a morning jog, not a scratch on her. Most folks called her weak till they heard the whispers. She was the last survivor of some ghost mission wiped from the records, just 24, black hair pulled back in a ponytail, eyes like polished stone that looked straight through people, never wore makeup or jewelry, nothing flashy, just moved around quiet, like she was saving her energy for something the rest of us couldn't even see coming. You ever meet someone like that? Doesn't say a word, but everyone just kind of feels it. The other recruits, dripping sweat, flexing their egos, started sizing her up right away. She didn't talk, didn't joke, just dropped her bag, tightened her boots, and got to work. That first day, Harris, the instructor, handed her a 50-kilogram sandbag, barked at her in front of everyone. Olivia tried to lift it, arms trembling, face flushed, couldn't get it off the ground at first. Some guy named Morrison, tall, cocky, yelled something about sending her back to the library, and people laughed because that's what people do, right? She didn't say a thing, just crouched down again, gripped that bag with steady hands, and lifted it inch by inch, slow and stubborn, all the way to the line. No smile, no gloating, just blank-faced, eyes fixed ahead. That set the tone. When push-ups came, people sneered, whispered she'd be gone by dinner, but every rep she finished, jaw tight, arms shaking, never once dropped out. It got rougher as the day went. Gear inspection, she laid out her kit plain as day. Old canteen, knife, tarp, all worn but spotless. Baxter, big guy, kicked her canteen across the floor, cracked jokes about thrift store gear, waiting for her to snap. She just picked it up, wiped it off, and when he tried to goad her, she said, dead quiet, "It holds water. Does yours?" Just like that, turned the whole moment on its head. Baxter shut up. The tension lingered. Now, before I go further, do me a solid. Hit that like button, drop a comment if you've ever felt underestimated, and subscribe if you want more stories like Olivia's, because trust me, they matter. Back to the story. Day 2 was humiliation central. The hand-to-hand combat ring, crowd gathered, the heat and noise and adrenaline, and Olivia's name blared over the speakers. Her opponent? Tucker, mountain of a Marine, muscles everywhere, grin wide, thinking he'd already won. Harris called her Monroe, on purpose, and the whole crowd roared. Tucker lunged, fist flying, but Olivia just twisted, smooth as silk, and he crashed into the dirt. He came at her again, mad, and she locked him up in 3 seconds flat, dropped him to his knees. 2 more buddies jumped in, thinking they'd gang up, but she flipped them both, crowd dead quiet now. Even the instructor wanted to stop it, but the colonel stepped in, let her continue. When it was all over, 5 down, Olivia untouched, the crowd didn't laugh anymore. Next drill, she's assigned to a team. Vaughn, the leader, hands out maps but skips her. "You're just here to watch," he sneers. They get lost, of course, compass spinning, and Olivia quietly points the way, finds the marker, saves their asses, but nobody says thanks. The survival results post. Orientation, water, shelter, the works. Most folks just scrape by, but Olivia? Perfect scores, even caught a map error meant to trick everyone. The NATO advisor stared at her like she was an alien. Turns out, half her file was redacted, transferred from some special unit nobody could talk about. Captain Rollins, old school, graying beard, just stared at her and muttered, "Nobody's scored perfect since 2017. except one. At night, they're doing perimeter under fake fire, smoke, and chaos. Harper, a recruit with a mean streak, tosses her a radio, "Don't drop this, too." Hour later, when a flare sparks a fire, Olivia's voice cuts in, calm, commanding, tells them how to put it out. They listen, it works, and suddenly, the mockery turns into something else. Resentment, maybe even fear. Now, you ever see how people change when they realize someone they've been picking on is actually dangerous? Whisper campaign started, special unit, probably just a desk job, they said. During a 5K run, Olivia falls behind. Harris heaps on the pressure, hands her a heavy wooden rifle, makes her run more. She finishes, stoic, spots a supply truck that looks familiar, a ghost from her past, maybe. Reynolds, one of the loudmouths, tries to heckle her, but fewer folks laugh now. Something's shifting. By the end of the week, Lindsay and her clique draft a petition to get Olivia booted for lowering morale. Harris takes it, promises to handle it, but he's not convinced. The next morning, Olivia gets called up to demo urban combat techniques. Dawson mocks her, but she clears the mock house in under a minute. Instructor says, textbook. The others fall silent. Rollins finds a photo of Olivia in an old file, calls her into his office, asks about Ghost Viper. She doesn't deny it, just says, no longer in the records, but the skills, they're still here. Rollins makes it clear, no one is to judge her by appearance again, but that only makes things colder. She gets isolated, moved to a separate bunk, eats alone. People start calling her Ghost, not as a joke, but because she really does seem untouchable. Complaints pile up. She destabilizes the group. In a sniper spotting exercise, her partner mocks her. She spots a flag at 800 meters. Nobody believes her until the shot hits dead center. Silence. Again. A colonel finally pulls Olivia's file. Operation Vulture Nest, sole survivor, mission wiped from public record. She'd led her team out, decoded enemy signals under fire, saved lives. The next day, the colonel lines up the whole camp, announces that the woman you mocked as weak once saved hundreds. He doesn't look at her, but everyone knows. But the truth doesn't make her popular, just more isolated. Officers start whispering, closed-door meetings. Eventually, she's brought in, handed a suspension order, behind the scenes only, no more field ops. Olivia doesn't fight it, just salutes, turns, and leaves, a 19-year-old soldier shouting after her. She's the reason I signed up. Are you all blind? No answer. The next day, rope bridge over a ravine. Lindsay tries to mock her one last time. Olivia walks steady, doesn't flinch, holds the rope for the next recruit. Nobody says a word as she walks away. Suspension sends ripples. Carter, the kid, starts telling everyone about Ghost Viper, about Vulture Nest, about a woman who walked through hell and came back with a map. But Olivia just packs up. Her uniform, canteen, notebook. One night she's gone. Nobody sees her leave. Later, a supply officer finds her notebook, maps, notes, a red X marking the place her team went down. Rollins keeps it as proof. Consequences roll in. Harris is transferred to a desk job. Lindsay loses her sponsorship. Morrison's gone, bunk empty. No one says it's because of Olivia, but everyone knows the truth has a way of catching up, slow and steady. Let me ask you. What do you think? Was justice served? Was Olivia wronged? Or was the camp just not ready for someone like her? Where are you watching from? Drop a comment, hit follow, and walk with me through stories of heartbreak, betrayal, and maybe, just maybe, healing.